Well, now to our ongoing Doors Open series, where our reporter Aisling Riordan visits places that you might not otherwise get to see. This week she went to the Buddhist Centre in Dublin city centre.
It looks a bit dreary from the outside, but it's actually quite lovely and bright on the inside. The Dublin Buddhist Centre has been around for over 20 years and it's located just off Talbot Street.
Basically, the building is it's a combination of things. First of all, it's the home of a spiritual community. So there's a number of people who come here who feel like they're Buddhists. They want to practice Buddhism with other Buddhists, learn more about Buddhism, take their practice deeper, their understanding of what Buddhism means and the relevance to their own lives. And then there's the other element, which is we introduce people to Buddhism and aspects of Buddhism. So a big part of our program will be meditation classes. So a lot of people want to learn how to meditate these days, and we're really happy to teach people to meditate. We're not interested in people becoming Buddhists. A lot of people just want to learn to meditate, and we're fine with that. Some people do want explicitly to learn about the Buddha's teaching. So again, we would introduce them to the Buddha's teaching more explicitly and the relevance to people's lives in the world today. And that's one of the emphases of our particular tradition, is really looking at what is essential in the Buddha's teaching and how we can apply that in the conditions of modern life, urban, secular, industrialised, mobile phones, all these things that weren't around at the time of the Buddha.
And explain what Buddhism is.
Buddhism basically is a path. So Buddhism started with the Buddha, and we think of the Buddha as an enlightened or awakened human being. So he was neither a god nor an ordinary man or an ordinary person. So he's an awakened person, which basically means something like, he embodies a state that's free of greed, hatred and delusion. He embodies wisdom and compassion. And part of his teaching is that any person can attain that state themselves. So what he teaches is a path to that state of awakening or enlightenment. So it's basically Buddhism as a path. So I'll just show you the shrine cupboard. So in the shrine cupboard we've got statues of the Buddha and also various other representations of aspects of enlightenment. So this is something that sometimes people find a bit confusing about Buddhism, is you have representations of the Buddha, who is the man who lived 2,500 years ago in India, and you also get what you might call mythological or symbolical representations of different aspects of the enlightened mind. For example, on the left there we've got the 1,000-armed, 11-headed Avalokiteshvara, and what he represents compassion. So the way that the compassion of the Buddha reaches out to people and responds to their particular needs. So that's why he's got those 1,000 arms, which are symbolised there, and each hand of those arms has an eye, and the eye sees. So there's a real emphasis in Buddhism that it's not enough just to be compassionate and want to help. You need to do that intelligently with a real awareness of what people really need.
My Buddhist name is Pranya Gita, and that means Song of Wisdom. So I joined the Triratna Buddhist Order 11 years ago, and I had been in training for about 7 years. And what that means is that I did retreats, study groups, I made friends with different people in the training process, as well as other people who are in the Triratna Order already. Because the spiritual community is a really important aspect of what we do, making connections and helping each other sort of develop in our Buddhist practice. But ordination in our tradition is not like Christian ordination. So I'm not a nun, or we don't have nuns or monks. We are called dharmacharis for men and dharmacharinis for women, which means we fare in the dharma. So I don't have to be celibate. There's many people in the order who are married, have families, work in different professions. And then there's other people like me who work in Buddhist centres.
According to the 2011 census, 8,703 people in the Republic of Ireland said they were Buddhists.
I initially came for yoga, actually, because I had a back problem. And then I saw they did meditation classes, and I kind of realised something I always wanted to do. I've always been interested in it, so I did that, and I've kind of been coming here since, quite regularly. Yeah.
And would you call yourself a Buddhist?
I would, yeah.
And why did you go to the next level? Like, why do you think you went from just yoga and meditation to actually calling yourself a Buddhist?
I guess the deeper you go in meditation, the more experienced you become, and the more absorbed you become in it.
And it's not just Donal who is keeping the centre busy. More meditation and yoga classes are starting this month to keep up with the demand.
Aisling Riordan reporting there.